Hey guys, I'm Pill.
And this is Ratter Tatter. And welcome to RTX 2017!
The annual gaming and animation convention held in Austin, Texas, hosted by Rooster Teeth, the studio behind such productions as Camp Camp, Ruby, and Red vs. Blue.
This year, the Austin Convention Center was filled to the brim for 3 days with tens of thousands of congoers excited to attend panels, meet their idols, show off their newest cosplays, and get them street passes, yo!
Rubies, baby, sipping on your potion slurp, fellas making faces.
But of course, like many others, the biggest draw for us was the merch room.
Well, room is a pretty huge understatement. This exhibit hall is over 170,000 square feet of awesome with something for everyone. There's stuff for fans of anime, video games, comic books, TV shows, board games, and this, the Disco Ball Shark. Fun to ride or watch. And a certain someone spent a little more than he probably should have.
But in addition to stuff to buy, there was stuff to play. There were plenty of arcade cabinets to choose from and big-name games like Halo, if that's your thing, but we were most interested in all the indie games.
There was a wide variety of unique indies on display with developers available and eager to share their passion projects with everyone. We had a blast trying out a ton of cool games and meeting their devs this year and are excited to share our favorites with you.
So, without further ado, here are our picks for the top 5 indie games of RTX 2017. At number 5 is Space Revolver, developed by Moonfall Games, a local or online competitive combat platformer that's much like Mega Man X meets Towerfall meets Cowboy Bebop. This entry is a space western with one heck of a unique twist. Twitch broadcasters rejoice! Because this one is for you. Space Revolver has Twitch chat input controls, giving your viewers the ability to participate in the action with things like sandstorms to obscure the player's visibility, a giant spider to wreak havoc on whatever unlucky player chat chooses, or a frickin' mech suit that gives whatever player can get inside first a massive advantage. On top of that, each player has a meter tied to their dashes and weapons, which depletes with every use. If they are not strategic with these moves, the meter can be emptied, causing them to be left vulnerable until it replenishes. Space Revolver shows incredible promise and is slated to release soon for PC, Mac, and Linux, so be sure to follow Moonfall Games on Twitter to stay up to date on its release.
For the number 4 slot, we have Arbiter by Jordan Scott. In this story-driven action game, you play as a human imbued with the powers of opposing demonic spirits in order to defeat them and save humanity. Taking inspiration from the likes of Kingdom Hearts and Dark Souls, this game plays like a hack and slash with elements of fast-paced and challenging combat. The gameplay is focused on transformation between light and dark, requiring strategic switching between the two in order to damage enemies, block incoming attacks, and interact with your environment. Arbiter is currently on Kickstarter until July 28th, and there is a pre-alpha demo available now on itch.io, which we will link in the description below. It is planned to be released on PC, Mac, and Linux, but they have hopes for console releases as well if the Kickstarter reaches its goal. So head on over and get your pledges in before the 28th if you are as excited about this game as we are.
It's kind of funny that we put this game at number 3 because it really is a number 2. Developed by Egonaut Games, On Your Friends, or S.O.Y.F. for short, is a local multiplayer action duel game for 2 to 4 players that is perfect for parties. In this game, you can play as a wide variety of adorable characters floating around the many levels and 4 different game modes, trying to projectile poo and fart bomb your way to victory, complete with realistic sound effects. If you enjoyed the fast-paced hilarity of Duck Game and have a super refined sense of humor like us, this one will be right up your alley. S.O.Y.F. is actually available right now on Steam, so it's time to or get off the pot. Go get your copy of the game today. After this video is over, of course.
In second place, we actually have my favorite game of the bunch, Super Rad Raygun, developed by True Fun Entertainment. In this retro side-scroller similar to Mega Man, you play as Rad, a Gameboy humanoid in an appropriately spinach green 8-bit world fighting 80s pop culture and Cold War baddies in order to save the day. Make sure to pick up batteries as you go and allocate them as you wish to power up any weapon or attribute you desire, but be careful. Rad is part Game Boy after all, so his battery life is very limited and you'll need to be strategic with your energy use. This quirky game has a perfectly cohesive 80s-inspired art style and story with tons of personality to boot. Not to mention, the soundtrack is full of fresh chiptune beats that got me totally bustin' a move the whole way through. Truly a labor of love, this game's inception began with the developers' shared desire to make video games when they were kids. So now as adults, they have developed a game that perfectly encapsulates the era and mobile game system of their childhoods. Super Rad Raygun is out now on PC, Mac, and Linux, so make sure to show your love of cheeky 80s nostalgia and download today. Now, before we move on to our number one pick, there were so many amazing games at RTX this year, we just couldn't narrow them down to only 5. So, here are a couple of honorable mentions.
Next up hero may look adorable from the outside, but it has one tough interior. This game is an online community co-op where when one player dies, another picks up where that hero left off to continue forging ahead through wave after wave of difficult monsters. The real fun comes in when you revive other heroes that died before you, and then they are controlled by AI to assist you in the continued adventure. The early access build of Next Up Hero is available now on Steam and is scheduled for release late 2017 on Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch.
Witchkin is a survival horror game where you play as a child who accepted candy from the wrong little old lady who is now trying to find your sister in a dark, decrepit house while haunted old toys stalk you in the dark. Talk about creepy.
Very old and creepy.
This game is in early access now with full release on Steam planned for October 2017. And to make things even more terrifying, there are talks of releasing Witchkin in VR for Oculus Rift at a later date.
And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, our number one indie pick for RTX 2017 is Black Ice. I will say that choosing between this and Super Rad Raygun wasn't easy, but developer Super Duper GC's game came out on top. Black Ice is an FPS RPG that takes place inside a computer mainframe and has you hacking evil corporation servers to steal their software. It's no secret that I'm not exactly the biggest fan when it comes to FPS games, but the ones I do enjoy tend to be more stylized. Overwatch and Borderlands come to mind, and that's exactly what drew me into Black Ice. With a sweet cyberpunk soundtrack and the procedurally generated world that manages to out-Tron in the looks department, this game is exactly what I imagine everyone growing up in the 80s and 90s thought the inside of a computer would actually look and sound like.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Just like in Borderlands, Black Ice is a shoot and loot kind of game, so the more servers you hack and hordes of neon rave spiders you explode into confetti, the more levels you gain and better power-ups you can equip. Whether you want to tackle this fast-paced shmup solo or hack the planet with a group of friends via the online multiplayer, you can start playing right now. Black Ice is in early access on Steam for PC, Mac, and Linux and is slated for a full release summer 2018.
So those were our favorite indies at RTX this year, but there were so many to pick from, so be sure to let us know which game you're most excited about in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to see more like it, and we'll see you next time.